We all have many sides. Good, bad. It's not that simple.
It's hard to come to terms with a violent nature.
The only difference between hero and villain. Salvation and destruction. Is which side you're on.
I can't believe it. Holy crap, guys. I just got done watching the first 2 episodes of Daredevil Born Again, and excuse my language, but there's going to be a lot of cussing in this spoiler-free review, but are you fucking kidding me, Marvel? Like, I am beyond happy and excited about how this show turned out. I was a little worried because, I mean, the Netflix Daredevil shows, I mean, all the Netflix, like, Marvel-related shows were absolutely amazing. That gritty darkness to it. And yeah, it was a little concerning that, you know, Disney was gonna, you know, or the MCU was gonna basically bring back Daredevil, and we were all worried that it wasn't gonna feel that same like R-rated version that we all came to love, but Marvel actually did it, and this is bloody. I mean, this is intense. Oh my god, this They absolutely did amazing work with this. Oh my god. Let's just get into the video and talk about it. Now I will try to curb my excitement just a little bit so that way I don't give anything away. But I mean, first episode, I mean, we are given such a nostalgia trip. We get to see, you know, New York City, we get to see Hell's Kitchen, but most of all, we get to see our trio. You know, we get to see these guys come out and just laughing, and everything just seems great and fine, and you know, we just get that feel of like, oh my god, this is like kind of like where we left off, you know, with these characters. And of course it can't last for very much longer, and as things progress, as basically as we've seen in the trailers, we do get to see that Bullseye is coming back, and he was the villain of the last season of the Daredevil Netflix show. And you know, he comes back, and I mean, he wreaks havoc. And to see where this puts Matt Murdock and how it transitions to the rest of the show, like, you understand as to why the show is called Daredevil Born Again, because through the events that happen, I mean, it's like you have no other choice but to walk away. And it was just so emotional. I mean, Marvel, it is not fair that you that you guys literally give us this type of emotion within the first 15 minutes of the first episode. But I'm here for it. I absolutely love it, because those kind of stories that hurt and, you know, make you gasp, like those that grip you, that's how you do it, and that's how you retain an audience. And to the flip side of this, seeing what Matt Murdock is dealing with, we get to see what Wilson Fisk is dealing with, and what, you know, what's leading him to basically like become mayor of New York and run this race, and then what he's dealing with in his personal life with his wife Vanessa. Like, we get to see all these dynamics of these two characters. And one thing that I do admit that Marvel does well with this is to show how these characters want to be different, but how society and the rest of life itself is pulling and picking away at them, like, you know, bit by bit, to kind of get them to go back to their old selves. And they absolutely do phenomenal work at showing that. Of course, there has to be a standing ovation done for the cast. I mean, everybody, the original cast is back. I mean, and then of course with some new faces, but the depth that they brought to these characters has not changed. And again, we were worried when the MCU was taking over and saying that they were going to bring these characters back, because, you know, everything is kind of done for PG-13 ratings. And of course, it's a smart choice, because, you know, that's your younger audience. But when this was introduced, it was introduced for the older audience, and they kept it for the older audience. And I give Marvel kudos for that, because it was such a great choice. These stories that that Daredevil and the Punisher, even in the comics, I mean, these are dark stories. Like, these stories are literally meant to make you question, like, morality and, you know, humanity and how terrible people can be, you know, and how to fight through that adversity. And they did amazing work. And this is just the first 2 episodes. I mean, the episodes were absolutely amazing. Again, not trying to get into spoiler territory, but of course, Matt, there's some more conspiracy kind of going on, especially we all know something with Fisk is always going on, but then, you know, Matt is getting dragged into some other kind of conspiracy that's going on with the recent case, and it just builds from there, and it's just going. And I'm telling you, by the end of episode 2, you will be feeling like, holy crap, holy shit. Like, it was amazing. I mean, it was, wow. That's all I have to say. Like, it was so speaking good. About Fisk and Mac, like this encounter where they're talking, and again, we've seen it in the trailers and like clips and stuff like that, but seeing it played out and how it was being done, I mean, the intensity and the like, it's funny because it's like a conversation between enemies and friends between these two, and how they're, you know, weaving around, like talking shit to each other and going back and forth. I mean, it was absolutely awesome. Like I said, these actors, these characters, they did such a great job, and I'm so excited to see what the rest of the season has in store. Now, my only critique about what we just saw in these shows, in these 2 episodes, is in the first episode. Now, it's weird because it's a critique, but it's like something exciting too. So one of the things that they do, and we've seen in the trailers, is that we didn't get to see in the original Netflix show, is get to see Daredevil actually like swinging around the city, you know, with his the bowlers that can just go out and like do like a retractable cable. Well, now we got that Disney money, and now we're getting all that, you know, all that swinging around and around the city and stuff like that, and it looks amazing. But there were moments in the fight where the CGI kind of took over a little bit, so it looked a little weird at certain points. So I feel like that was probably be my only like critique that kind of stood out to me, is just that the weird use of some of the CGI with the fighting that they did. Now, it's not all like that. Like I'm saying, like this is just one particular fight that happens in the first episode. And I think it's because of that, like flying around, and that, you know, kind of like in the comic books, like how Daredevil was very acrobatic and flying around. So I get why they kind of did that a little bit, to kind of, you know, to basically bring it to life. So other than that, I mean, everything else was absolutely great. It was bloody, it was intense, emotional. Well, guys, that is all I got for you today. Have you seen the first 2 episodes of Daredevil Born Again? And if you haven't, what are you waiting for? What did you guys think of these 2 episodes? How did you feel that you know, Disney's Marvel did, you know, giving us Daredevil again and giving us in this version, and especially with Fisk and everything else, and that emotional first 15 minutes? I mean, just talk to me in the comments and let me know what you guys thought, because I absolutely loved it, and I'm super excited for the rest of the show. I can't wait. I am like upset that I gotta wait a week now for the next episode, but it is what it is. It already is renewed for a season 2, and they're already getting that in the works and already done. So I'm happy for it. I hope the rest of the episodes are just as good as these first 2. As always, I appreciate you guys for taking the time to check out another video, and I'll see you on the next one.